Hey, what's up guys? In this video, we are going to take a look at one of Fire Emblem's most iconic villains, the Black Knight. He's the 4th hero that is obtainable from the Tempest Trials. You can obtain his 4-star variant by scoring 6,000 points and his 5-star version by scoring 30,000 points in the Moment of Faith Tempest Trials. First half of the video will be a review over his stats and default skill set, and the second half I'll show you guys some optimal builds. Black Knight is a free to play unit, so his stats are always neutral. His max stats are 48 HP, 34 attack, 34 speed, 35 defense, 18 resistance, and his base total stat is 169. This guy is something else. The Black Knight almost has exactly the same stats as neutral Amelia. The only difference is 1 more HP and 5 less resistance, which results with him having a lower base total stat by 4. His stat line is just amazing except for his resistance. His resistance is terrible, and with no surprise he dies to Reinhardt. Fast armor units are something we don't see all the time. The only two quote-unquote fast armor heroes are Amelia and Draug. Draug is fairly fast, has amazing physical bulk, but he doesn't compare offensively with Black Knight. As for the other red armor unit, Zephiel, I don't think Black Knight completely replaces Zephiel, but majority of you guys will probably use Black Knight over Zephiel just for the fact that Black Knight has a distant counter weapon and is less expensive to build. The two heroes are kind of different anyways. Zephiel is kind of a tanky, supportive type of unit, while Black Knight is still tanky and a defensive unit, but his set caters towards more of a aggressive playstyle. His unique weapon is a Londite, 16 might, and has a built-in distant counter effect. My god, when you combine a distant counter weapon with insane stats, you basically get a top tier and extremely popular hero. For example, just look at Xander and Camus. Unfortunately, this effect is negated by Brave Lin Sakei's blessing skill, otherwise Black Knight could have been a really great counter to her. Built-in distant counters are just amazing because it frees up the ace slot and it allows the unit to inherit a stat boosting ace skill. I just hope the Black Knight doesn't overwhelm the future armor units similar to what Camus did to the other Blue Cavaliers. The really exciting skill is his special because it's unique and exclusive to Black Knight, meaning no one else can inherit this skill. It's Black Luna, 3 charge and resolve combat as if foes suffer defense and resistance minus 80%. It basically works the same way as Luna, except it ignores 80% defense and resistance instead of 50%. It also costs the same as Aether, meaning it's useful for scoring higher points in Arena. And let's just use an example just to see how much Black Luna really does compared to regular Luna when facing a high defense target. I'm going to use Draug as the example because he has the highest base defense in the game at 39. So regular Luna grants about 19 bonus damage, which equals a grand total of 30 damage dealt to Draug. With Black Luna, he's granted 31 bonus damage and deals 42 damage to Draug, which is insane. It's almost true damage. Lastly, I want to show you guys how many heroes he can KO with just Black Luna's activation. Here's some results of Black Knight's default skill set with and without Black Luna against vanilla heroes with and without Fury. It's actually crazy, so if you find yourself facing a high defense enemy, just make sure you save Black Luna for that specific target. New ace skill Steady Stance 3 grants 6 defense during combat when this unit is attacked. So this skill works similar to Summer Tiki's close defense, Silica's distance defense, or Brave Ike's steady breath. It only works on the enemy phase, which is quite decent, especially since he has a distant counter weapon. 6 extra defense is probably not needed for Brave Archers, but it definitely helps versus the other classes. If you want to upgrade this skill, consider sacrificing Brave Ike to give his ace skill Steady Breath to him. That way he can gain 2 charge to his special every time he is attacked, and is able to activate Black Luna on the first counter hit during the enemy phase with Quick Impulse equip. B skill is Wings of Mercy. It's a cool skill on him considering he teleports all over the place in the original game. I really like the flavor behind it. Wings of Mercy is never a bad skill on anyone. It helps a lot more for defensive arena, but there are its uses for offensive arena. He is an armor unit, so it definitely helps him get around the map easier. He shouldn't have a problem getting into that HP threshold because his speed and bulk is just so good. Like I said, he's going to be really popular in arena, so make sure to kill this guy off when you attack him. Don't let him live with low HP because you don't want him to teleport next to your ally and bop your hero with a Black Luna activation. So if you are only able to obtain the 4-star version and were wondering if he's worth promoting to 5 stars, the answer is yes. This guy is definitely the best Tempest Trials unit up to date. Don't get me wrong, Mass Marth is an amazing and very useful unit for all areas of the game, but Black Knight is just on another level. Not because he has a distant counter weapon though, it's because he has insane stats with distant counter and most likely the best damage special in the game. You can't just say an enemy is top tier just because they have distant counter, they have to come with the right stats. You cannot just give me a twig with a distant counter weapon and expect me to call him good when he'll just die in one hit during the enemy phase. But anyways, as for Grand Hero battles and Tempest Trials Heroes ranking goes, I'm going to put Black Knight in front of Zephiel. Zephiel is still great, he can debuff enemies, deal a good amount of damage, and tank physical and even some mages fairly well with Warrior Fighter equipped. But Black Knight's offensive power and coverage against some ranged heroes is just way too good. He is also cheaper to build and his playstyle is a lot more straightforward. Armor Emblem is still a little wonky at the moment. If you have Emilia, I'd recommend just running Black Knight, Emilia, and 2 armor units on a team. Emilia is only there for her armor march skill, so she can be replaced by anyone else that might have inherited that skill. And that's going to be my review and opinion on the Black Knight. Now that we're done with that, let's take a look at some builds that I have prepared for you guys. First, of course, is a budget set. It's literally his default skill set with an assist and his flexible C skill. I'm pretty sure you don't want to use Wings of Mercy if you plan on using Black Knight on an Armor Emblem team. To get the most out of it, you should probably put Black Knight on a team with a melee cavalier or someone with drag back. That way the unit can go in, get chunked for a fourth of its health, and then Black Knight can teleport next to his ally with Wings of Mercy and possibly Black Luna someone to death. You can try it on Armor Emblem. On paper, I don't think it's that great, but who knows. The strategy for this build is to just let Black Knight tank physical melee enemies on the enemy phase and knock people out with Black Luna. Steady stance grants him 6 defense on the enemy phase, so he's going to be able to soak a lot of hits and gain those special charges. There's 2 options for the assist, it's pivot or swap. Armor units' main weakness is their mobility. They can only move one space, so pivot is there to help them get around the map quicker. And because they can only move one space, armor units have a hard time adjusting their formation, and you can fix that problem by just using swap. And to dive deeper into it, generally you want to run goad or ward armor instead of hone or fortify buffs because armor units are always close to one another, which is another reason why you might want to use swap. However, it does just depend on your preference. Personally, just like how I like to run reposition on melee units and draw back for ranged units, my rule of thumb is to run pivot on offensive armor units like Effie and swap for the ones that are just there to tank like Sheena. It's up to you, try them both out and see which one fits your playstyle. Budget C slot options are threat and attack, threat and defense, and ward armor. Use one of the threat and skills if you are using him on a mixed team. Use ward armor for Armor Emblem so the allies can get a nice buff in defense and resistance. Ward armor is really important for Sheena and Emilia to make sure they are able to tank the meta heroes like Reinhardt. Build number 2 is similar to the first one except it runs quicker post instead of Wings of Mercy. I put ward armor for the C slot just because I like this build better on Armor Emblem. His 34 speed isn't high enough to double majority of the heroes without a speed boosting A slot skill, but it is good enough to prevent doubles, which means that most enemies will only get to attack once and Black Knight can counterattack with 2 hits thanks to quicker post. That is a total of 3 charges and that should leave his Black Luna activation ready to use on the following player phase. If you want to increase his chances of 1 round KOing on the first fight, then you should consider giving him quick impulse, that way he's able to activate Black Luna on the second counter hit, but only for the first fight. Here's some results against vanilla heroes with and without Fury and Black Knight with and without quick impulse. And here's some specific matchups against some high defense heroes. This is with quick impulse by the way. As you can see, Fury Camus barely survives, Xander and Zephiel both get 1 round KO'd only because of Black Luna. Both of those heroes will survive if the Black Knight does not have quick impulse equipped. Build number 3 is a Fury Vantage set. If you are familiar with Fury Vantage Ryoma, Camus, or even Distant Counter Vantage Hector, it works the same way. It's a really solid build on both sides of arena. I would say it'll probably see more use on defensive arena teams though. If the opponent isn't able to 1 round KO Black Knight, then they will have a hard time surviving his Vantage proc, especially if Black Luna is ready. I mean, here's how many vanilla heroes with Fury that just died from Black Luna alone. I set Black Knight's health to 1 HP to make sure he only gets that 1 hit in. This set kind of lost its usefulness because of all the Brave Lins around, but it's still something to consider. C skill is flexible depending on the team composition. There's a lot of skills to choose from: threat and attack, defense, panic ploy, armor march, or ward armor. The final build is an extremely expensive set, but it's really effective. He has Brave Ike's Steady Breath, Nephani's Wrath, and either Panic Ploy, Armor March, or Ward Armor in the C slot. The strategy is similar to the Quick Impulse set. It's all about trying to get his special to activate. He will need Quick Impulse in order to get the most out of this build. At full health and with Quick Impulse, Black Luna starts off at 2 charge. When he gets attacked on the enemy phase, the enemy will grant him 2 charges with the first hit, and Black Knight's first counter hit is a Black Luna activation with a plus 10 damage boost from Wrath. This guy can almost kill the entire cast of heroes. Even Effie, who is one of the tankiest blue units in the game, nearly dies. And FYI, Effie does die if Black Luna has the buffs from Goad and Hone Armor. Anyways, if Black Knight can get his HP reduced below 75% from that one hit, then Black Luna's special will start off at a 2 charge cooldown because of Wrath's first effect, and you can rinse and repeat the strategy. He's fairly tanky, so he's probably able to get a few fights in before he's way too low. Alright, that's it for this video. I strongly recommend all you guys grind and try to get this guy. Either get his 4-star version, or better yet, get both 4-star and 5-star versions. He's the best Tempest Trials reward so far, and one of the best free-to-play heroes in general. Let me know what you plan to build on your Black Knight in the comments below. I'm going to train both versions to level 40, and I will be using both versions in my Grand Hero Battle free-to-play guides. Normally, I try to avoid using free-to-play 5-stars, but since you are able to get the Black Knight as a 5-star unit right out of the box, I think it's fair game for me to be able to use the 5-star version for Inferno modes. I will never ever use a 5-star Grand Hero Battle unit in my guides because that requires 20,000 feathers. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and got something out of it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.